Hi all. So hope you had a first good week in the workshop. So this will be the first of a couple of videos I'm going to post in the Coffee Corner, responding to, um, commenting on, and just giving some context to your posts in each one of the exercises for the first module. Let me start with this idea of thinking about GloPo as a centerpiece for the IB mission. In reading your posts and comments with each other, it's apparent that you clearly get the underlying vision here for the course. And a couple of you made reference to the idea that really this course is perhaps emblematic of the IB's mission, not simply in the realm of education, but also to perhaps a broader project. And those, frankly, are exactly the sort of things that not only I've seen in the past year and a half or so training folks, but I think that's also the intent of the organization. And in designing the course, we're very thoughtful around this mission of people, power, and politics, and with the idea of creating a conversation in the classroom, with our students around these particular topics, and in this, towards this mission, towards this vision. Um, so, well done for everyone in terms of the way in which you're recognizing the organization, and I think more importantly, the classroom experience is to deepen um, this idea of global education for our students. A few of you brought up challenges as well to this vision, because it is obviously lofty and idealistic in nature, as all visions are. But the challenge of working with either local populations or students who don't necessarily travel, or some of you mentioned students with coming from privileged backgrounds, or disadvantaged students. It does create a challenge for classroom instructors to frame the topics and issues, and we'll talk more about this over the next few weeks, but topics and issues in a way that allows them to connect and to engage with their own experience, but obviously, of course, break down those walls and broaden their horizons. For students who don't travel, for example, this course can be daunting. It's tough to take a set of students who, and I'll talk about my own experience. I'm in an international school where we have a good deal of students who've traveled, but not all of them have. Our local populations vary in terms of socioeconomic status, and some really haven't done international travel, much less travel around the United States. And so it becomes challenging for those individuals to try to conceptualize what local cultures and contexts mean, particularly either in comparative perspective or at least from an empathetic perspective. The privilege and class issue obviously pops up as well. The course clearly has a focus on addressing issues like inequality. It's one of the key terms, of course, or we see it in development, or we look at peace and conflict, and providing that context and that experience for students that just don't have a connection to what life is like for people around the world who live in those situations and those social settings becomes a challenge for us as instructors to create meaningful and engaging learning experiences that again come back to this core mission and value, or mission and values that are expressed in the course. In terms of a couple of the folks, Lee and Bill, you both have this excellent, and I shouldn't say it's you two responses I just read recently as I went through the post one more time. But a number of you said this idea that this course should be mandatory. Sure, particularly for someone who from my perspective, who was on the ground with us early. Yes, I think the course itself is one where it really does provide a foundational experience for all students in the DP or as a standalone certificate course. It really is one that really should and could be required, although my colleagues who teach history and economics would probably say the same thing. But it is one that is increasingly popular. At my school, again, GLOPO has taken off to the point that it's almost this past year it entirely replaced history. We're sort of forcing students or forcing options back for students to take history and econ. But there are, on a given year, there's at least 100 global politics students now in my school, and there are 20 history students maybe per year. So the course itself is one that attracts a wide range of student interest and really becomes an anchor piece for many students who go on, not just to go on and finish their diploma, but actually to go on and to work in, I should say, study first and then work, but study international affairs, world politics, development, human rights and law, things along those lines. So it is becoming, and I've seen this in other schools as well, where GLOPO is becoming this anchor course in everyone's coursework, not just in Group 3, but the program in itself. So those are my general comments for this first one. I'll do others for the next 3 just to give you a little preview, and then I'd love to hear your feedback and commentary on my ideas as we go forward. So.